All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us this morning. Today we're going to be doing an open house for freeslotgames.com. I'm Ryan Lane, the broker, and on the horn with us is Victoria Brown. How are you, Victoria?
Great, thank you. I hope everybody is doing well, and thank you for hosting this for me.
Oh, you betcha. We find that it helps tremendously with people being able to look at it. They get a good view of what it is, and it's a viewpoint from your point of view. So it works out pretty well. So let's get
Great.
started here. We'll get a little bit of uh, house cleaning done. If you haven't already dialed into the audio bridge, please do so now. You can also use your computer's integrated audio to listen in. During the call, everybody's going to be on mute. If you'd like to submit questions, please do so using the questions feature down below, and I'll ask those throughout the day. So throughout the thing. So we generally field all questions verbally at the end of the webinar, unless something is pertinent to the particular current slide. So we'll get started here. Here's the deal. As we can see, it's annual revenue is 114,000. Expenses are around 29,000. Annual profit is about $85,989. Um, current asking price is 280,000. It's got a next tip here. Now, Victoria, maybe you want to explain this a little bit because when I listed it, I told people that it's been an aged site. It's been around for quite some time, and now when we look here, we see it's. Oops, let me go back here. We see it's only been around theoretically since 2013. You want to explain the whole poker phenomenon and what happened and how that worked?
Sure. So we started out as a poker school. That was the flop.net. Um, and over the years, the market changed, and poker was banned in the United States. And actually, one of our biggest moneymaker websites was out of business for moneymaker partners. I mean, Footed Poker was out of business for a year and a half, I believe. So that hit us pretty badly, and then we changed over to focus on casino stuff. So we had a great casino site that was number one in Google for online casino in a niche market, which was Hungary. Um, and then Free Slot Games is the first site where we really made it into the English market with an English language site. Um, and that has been our biggest moneymaker for the last 2 years. So it sort of changed over the time what we did, and we did start to operate in about 2006, but Free Slot Games itself started up in January 2013. That's right.
Okay, but all the content and all the users and everything is all just kind of switched over from the existing
Yes.
site, correct? Okay.
Yes, the users have been switched over, and we also have a couple of smaller sites that have very good aged domains, but they might not have the amount of traffic that Free Slot Games gets now.
Okay, great. And then next here is, as we can see, is this. Uh, what can you tell us about this? It looks like you have quite a few, a huge return customer base.
Yes, they just come back because they can play the free games on our website, and so um, we do have quite a consistent high um, um, reach from Google as well. Um, and I find that the returning customers are great as well, because those are the ones who usually tend to go to the different casinos where they can play for real money, and those are our advertisers. That's how we make the money. But it has been very consistent for the last, I would say, year and a half at least. So since we got up to this amount of traffic, it never disappeared.
Okay, great. As here's basically a traffic breakdown.
Yeah. It changed a little bit in the last couple of months, in that United States is still on the top, so most of our customers are from there. So we advertise the casinos that do accept traffic from the States, so that those players are not lost. So basically, I pay a lot of attention that on the main page and on the most visible spots, I only put casinos that do accept that kind of traffic. And then second is Canada. At the moment, I believe our third is Australia and the fourth is United Kingdom, which might be more interesting to some of the buyers, that the UK is coming up in traffic. So we are starting to rank better and better there.
Great, great. Um, this one here, I mean, it just kind of shows a little bit about the traffic. I mean, obviously, the majority of it is organic search traffic.
Yeah.
Um, so you don't do much search engine traffic or SEO, or how does your traffic work there?
Well, we that's all we do,
Yeah,
SEO. So the organic search is all our traffic. Google only allows to advertise gambling, I believe, in the UK and nowhere else. I'm not 100% positive on this, but I think that's the case. So we just don't bother with Google advertising,
right,
and also because we get so much organic traffic, we don't really need it at the moment either.
great.
Social could be greatly improved. I must tell you, I'm not very good at that. So I believe there is a lot of room for improvement there.
Okay. And how many you have both Facebook and Twitter as well, or what social media
No,
do you have?
we don't even do Twitter. We just do Facebook.
Okay,
We do have one Facebook page for free slot games. It's approaching 1,000 users now. I mean 1,000 likes, um, and we can put stuff up there, and it gets immediate attention pretty much. Um, yeah, with Twitter it could be improved, and also maybe with a better use of the Facebook site.
okay, great. This is just a quick Majesto here. You can tell that she has about 830 backlinks, 115 referring. This is kind of a quick one. Do you have anything to say about it? Or we can just move on if you.
Well, I think in this niche, a citation flow of 28 and a trust flow of 17 is pretty good.
Right,
So just if you look at some of our other sites, you would understand that maybe out of 100 or it's not that great. But if you look at the kind of market you're in, it is actually very good.
right,
Just because Google doesn't tend to like
right.
gambling,
They don't
so
like gambling, and so you
no.
usually
So
tend
they
to.
will downplay it.
Right. Here, here's our backlink and our breakdowns and everything. Looks like.
Yeah. So yeah, free slot games is obviously a great domain. It has a lot of searches, and so the as you can see out of uh, the anchor texts, that's the most common one that we get, um, which is good because that's also our main keyword. Also, free slots, it is basically in the domain, so it's a natural link to get that. And that has a huge search volume. I believe it's several 100,000 people search for free slots every month.
Okay. And this is just a list of some of the backlinks that are on there for people to.
Yeah, well, most of these come with the package, actually,
Right.
most of these domains. So we do some, it's not cross-linking because we don't link back, but some linking from our own websites to the most important website. But they are on different IPs, and we don't cross-link them, obviously. So Google still thinks it's important to get those links.
Okay. And how many domains are coming with it?
It's around 40. It's just under 40. It will also depend on when the sale goes through because there are some domains that I don't use right now, and I'm planning on letting them go unless there is a buyer who wants those domains. Because
Okay.
there are some websites that we were going to build and then we didn't build. There are some websites that are not doing well anymore, and so I tend to just buy new domains when I think there is something good that is available, but I also let some domains go where I don't think there is any point in keeping them. So it's somewhere between 35 and 40, and it will depend on when the sale goes through, the exact number.
Okay. Great. And then here we just, as you can see, it just shows you the traffic by the countries, U.S. and
So you can see that we have a good organic presence in other countries as well, other
right.
than the States.
Yeah, pretty big one actually. Looks really good. Uh, Again, a lot of these slides are just for information slides for people to see what when they're watching the slideshow. So
Mhm.
as people could see, the see if she were to be paying, if you were to be paying for a lot of this traffic, it shows you how much it's
Yeah,
giving
but
you.
I don't think you can you actually can except the
Yeah,
UK.
right,
But yeah, the as you can see, we rank on the first page for actually quite a few keywords, including most of the time free slots, which is the big um, money-making keyword. Um, but yeah, obviously free slot games we usually rank somewhere around number 5, number 6.
right. So does that kind of help? And sorry, I'm. Does that help you out a little bit because you can't buy because people can't buy advertising for the gambling on Google? It has to be
Yeah.
all organic and natural. So does that help you out a little bit because of your domain?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. It's a very competitive market in terms of SEO, and we've already got it set up. So even if you just don't touch it, and we try to do everything the way Google likes us to do it. So it's not likely that suddenly it's going to drop because of some black hat SEO. It's all proper good SEO. So it is likely to just keep doing what it's doing right now
Right. Right.
and keep performing too.
So here's your uniques. As we can see, it kind of goes ups and downs, and I mean, I'm assuming this is the Christmas time here in the middle,
Yeah, exactly. So that's January. January is always the best month because there is nothing else to do.
right?
And then usually in the summer it goes down. Um, but sometimes if sometimes if the spring is very good, it goes down as well. So, but you can see that it's between 40 and 60K. So it is capped in that range, but it will go up and down as
Right.
the weather gets nicer. It will go down.
Right. And then the page views they just kind of flow along with the
Yeah,
traffic
the
there.
same
So
thing. Yeah.
now that's here. This is into your admin here. So you'll go ahead and fill
Yeah.
us all in with all this. So
Well, this is a very interesting part of the SEA because I don't think something unique like this is usually included. This is a custom-built backend that was built over 5 years. There's a lot of hours that went into it, and a copy of this backend that runs all the websites will come with the SEA. I'm not selling the copyright or the code itself, but I will give a copy that will help you manage all your websites that you're buying from me. Plus, you can plug in basically any front end. So you can plug in your other websites if you want to and manage those as well through this backend. And it doesn't matter what kind of content management system you use for those websites, you can very easily integrate them because it was designed in a way that the back end and the front end are separate. So if you're using Joomla, if you're using Drupal or WordPress or just plain HTML for your other websites, you can still use the backend and run all your websites if you want through
Okay,
this backend. And
great.
this is our accounting part of the backend, which shows you which affiliate programs we get the most money from, or
Sure.
which are the ones that yeah, that deliver.
Well, and, I mean, it's nice to see that it is. I mean, you have a couple of large ones, but you still have it spread out. You know, all of your eggs aren't
Yeah,
necessarily just in one basket. You know, so
yeah. Even if one of the large ones doesn't perform, the other ones will still carry on.
okay,
So this is the month by month revenue breakdown. As you can see, the gross income and the collected income should close up as we collect the money from the different affiliate programs. So there is a little bit left out from even from April, because sometimes there is a minimum payout. So even though we made $100 or $150 from one of the affiliate programs, their minimum payout is 250. So they will not pay that out until we make another 100. But we try to keep them very close together, and as the month um, progresses, so for example, this collections for July are much better. I did this a couple of weeks ago, this screenshot. So the collections by now are much better, but sometimes it takes a month or even up to 2 months to collect all the money.
okay. So sometimes you're on
Uh,
net 30, or you know, sometimes you're out 30 days, maybe even 2 months
yes,
on the monies. Okay,
yes, but the big ones usually pay pretty much right away, and it's just usually the little ones. But with the back end, it's very organized, so we know exactly who hasn't paid yet, and when we can expect that.
okay, great. And tell us a little bit about this one here.
Okay, so this is how the backend is built. That we have the different operators, as you see on the top there, operator, Slots of Vegas Casino, um, and basically all the reviews that you can see on our websites come from this backend. It pulls the data automatically, and usually your bonus details are much more updated than this. This is one of the new partners, but it would put all this information on the website automatically, and as you can see, all the trackers are also in here, which means that when these affiliate programs change their minds and say, okay, we are going to use a different system from now on, and all our links are going to change, then you just change it in the backend in one spot on one of these trackers, and it puts that up on all of your websites. So you don't need to change those links in 35 websites,
Right, right,
which makes a huge difference, I find, compared to when I was doing all this by hand in HTML.
right. I'm sure it does make a massive difference.
Yeah, it was a constant nightmare that our websites had broken links all the time, because these affiliate programs just do change their links constantly, um, and you have to follow them, otherwise you're not making any money because the links just don't work.
Right.
Um, and yeah, so usually, oh, and what is very important, that all this data that we've entered throughout 8 years of the bonuses, the trackers and everything, it all comes with the sale. So it's a huge amount of data entry that's in there that went into this backend, and I'm giving that with the sale.
Okay. Since we're on the data questions, like, so then how many registered users do you have? How many emails do you have that are going to be included in this?
Well, there are different websites. There are two social media Facebook-like websites which have about, I believe, 5,000 users who are supposed to be registered with their real name, real email address, and all sorts of other important data that you can use for um, targeting them specifically. Now, these are mostly poker players.
Okay.
And then we do have an email list of about another 8,000 users, which is poker and casino.
Okay. Great.
And then there is the Facebook page with the
Right.
casino, the free slot games. Now, this is another screenshot of the same backend. It just shows that, for the previous one, I believe that was a bonus. So we showed details of a bonus. Now this is details of an operator. So all this data is also entered into the system. And then you can get little tables on the websites saying, show me only the RTG software operators. And then it can be automatically spit out because it's specified on in the database that it's what the operator uses as the software. And then we have pages which say show us the new casinos that were launched in the last year. So then it just pulls the launch date, and you can see if the casino started up in the last year. Then if you open up all these little parts here, you can see all the payment methods and all their languages for support and for their website and for their software. So there is a ton of data that is here, which are closed up right now because it wouldn't fit on the page.
Right.
And then you can just jump around between these bonuses and operators and trackers and all that.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is the tracker page itself. So this is where you would change the link when it says where it says on the top bonus tracking URL. That's where you would put in the new URL when they change their tracking links. And then it automatically changes your links underneath the banners as well, which
Okay.
is a nice bonus.
Right.
And then you can see here, although it is in a chronological order, not backwards, so it doesn't show the most recent first, but it shows the first click that you've ever got. But basically, it does show how many people clicked on this link, and when, and from what.
And and this is all part of the custom software that you had designed, correct?
That is right, yes. We built this custom software, and you get a copy with the sale, so you can use it.
And then the programmer that did the work, is he going to remain to be available to the buyer once they purchase the site? On
He
some
doesn't
basis.
work for us anymore. He
Okay.
took a job, a full-time job, but he is available. He's my husband, so
Okay.
he's available for questions. And if somebody needs, just help to understand what's going on, we do have a manual, a full manual for this backend. So it would explain how to use it and what the features are and um, what there is to know about it. We just wrote that in the last 2 years. So it should be relatively easy to understand and transition. It also is important that it runs on an Oracle database, and that also comes with the sale.
Okay. Great. So what do we got here?
Yeah, and this is why I said that how easy it is to integrate all this in the front end, no matter what the front end is, whatever um, system you are using, whatever content management system you're using in the front, because it's just a flat file. So basically, there is a text file which we named .frag as a fragment, and you just include it with a PHP, and then you get a nice review with all the graphics and all the data coming from the back end. But you could put this PHP code in your Joomla or in your WordPress or even in an HTML website as well. And all these tables that you see on the left, they are included in the same way. So this best bonus is US welcome. That little table is also a flat file. So you can just put that in any front end as well.
Great. Awesome. So,
And then these are the IP addresses. This is the a little bit of the SEO part of the backend, but yeah, these are the IP addresses and what we are using them for and what the plan is to use them for eventually, and then it checks if it's active or what's happening. And then the ISP is wherever the hosting is,
so,
and it also checks how many domains there are on that
so
server.
these are your IPs and what you're using them for.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, and so now I remember you mentioned something. How many IPs? And because I felt that it was kind of important in this. You have quite
It
a few
is
IPs
important.
and multiple C
Yeah.
classes. So considering
Yes.
we're kind of running out of IPs in the world, this is a pretty big deal, right?
Yeah, it is a very big deal because it's very hard to get hold of IP addresses usually. So we have 35 IPs on the Hungarian server and we have 11 on the UK server. And although we are not using all of them at the moment, I don't have 45 or 46 websites at the moment. I don't give the IP addresses up. I'd rather pay them because they are very, very hard to get hold of. And if you want to link your sites from each other, then it is very important to have them on different IP addresses and in different C classes. So that's why we kept them, and it all comes with the setup.
Right. What have we here?
Here is another view of the operator page, which we've already seen the slots of Vegas casino. I just opened up the review part so that people would understand that you actually type the review in the back end, the different sections of the review, and it basically just automatically puts it together for you for your front end with that little PHP code that I showed before.
Okay. And then this is our revenue.
That's right. The reason it always goes down. Why doesn't it go down? Yeah, it's July. Maybe I didn't have it put in. So basically, um, in July, I pay the full year's hosting for both servers. So it always, I always have about $3,000 or five.
Yeah, we're going to see that in the
No,
next slide.
yeah, $3,000 or so in expenses, but that's basically for the whole year. And then the all the domains are paid usually for several years ahead, the ones that I'm keeping, because Google values it if you have at least 2 years paid off. So I usually make sure. Yeah, here are the expenses. So for July, we actually made over 15K gross, but the expenses were high because of the servers. Um, so yeah, and also I only buy from the directory listings that we um, tend to buy. I only buy ones that are for life. So I never wanted a recurring cost that would come back every year, and then sometimes you forget, and then you get penalized because that link disappears and so on. So whatever we have in terms of links, those are paid for life.
For life, and those all carry over as well.
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess tell us about the day-to-day business, the operation site, how much you do. I know you have some employees; they're all part-time employees.
Yeah.
What are they going to be transferring with the sale? Are they willing to transfer with the sale? Um,
I think most of them will be happy to transfer with the sale, at least initially. And then, depending on the new owner, they have to come to an agreement with them. So I can't really speak for them. But I think most of them will happily transition. Um, I don't have any formal contracts with any of them, so it would have to be signed by the new owner if he wants a formal contract. Um, but basically, I have this girl, Andrea, who runs the day-to-day operations, and I just get involved when we are doing something new. Um, and actually, for the last little while, I haven't been doing much because partly because I was on holidays, but partly because I'm getting very pregnant now, and
Perfect.
it's
Us
just
too.
yeah, it's
Congratulations.
just getting harder and harder to sit at the computer. So I really don't feel like it, and so basically, I just want to take a break, and I don't do that many hours anymore. So I don't do anything major right now. The only thing I really want to push through in the last month or 6 weeks is this transition um, from the Drupal 6 to Drupal 7 that we are doing now, because that will allow mobile users to use all our sites. So that's sort of important.
Okay, and that's in
That
the process of going on right now,
That's right. So I do want to take care of that um, before I have a baby.
right?
Um, but other than that, I didn't plan to do anything major right now. So it's just day-to-day stuff that pretty much my employees do. So I don't do that many hours anymore. So I would
Okay,
say I do like 5 to 6. To begin with, I only work 3 days a week because I have two little kids. I spend my time with them for the rest of the time, and I have another business to run in those 3 days, so I don't spend all that time working on my websites.
okay. Are you the only owner? Is it just you, or are there other
Yeah,
owners involved?
no, it's just me.
Okay.
It's that simple.
And then what do you see as far as in the site growth, future expectations that the new owner would could see in the future? Or,
I think there are a lot of there is a lot of potential that could be turned into profit. I just currently in my current um, life situation don't have the energy to take care of those things. One is the social media, but also we have this one site, Live Casino Directory, which is already getting a nice exposure for organic searches without us doing much with it. But it would need a lot of content and a lot of work to put into it, and that could be a real big moneymaker as well. I just currently don't feel that I have the energy and that I'm at a good point in my life for taking that on.
okay.
But it has huge potential. It's a database of live casinos around the world. So it would draw in all the searches of people who search for the live casinos, and to transition those people to the online casinos, I think is a great way of making a lot of money.
And you have that database and everything already in place.
Yes, yeah. It would need just more content basically.
Okay.
Just somebody needs to sit down and write a lot of content for it. Basically, just researching these casinos. Many of them have to be called up, and just whatever they tell you, you just put in the database. But it's just, yeah, basically database entry that it needs.
Okay. Now, because this is gambling related and all of this stuff, are there any U.S. Legal issues at all within the United States, or I guess anywhere else for that matter?
Well, we don't allow gambling on our site,
Right.
so I don't think there are any legal issues there because we don't. People who do play with our games on the website, those are free games, so there is no money there. So I don't think there is any issue there. We do advertise casinos that accept US players, but we tend to pick them very, very carefully. Um, and we hardly ever work with very new um, online casinos just because we don't know them. So the ones we pick and the ones we work with are very reputable, and they pay on time, which is very important. So and it is their business, uh, in my opinion, how they handle the issue with the states.
Right.
Because what is illegal in the states is to process the payments. It's not illegal to play, it's illegal to process the payment. But I have nothing to do with them processing their payments, so it's their business.
Okay. Okay. Great.
And we just get advertising revenue, so we can't really get into any trouble with that.
Okay. And I think you pretty much kind of already covered the why you're selling. Um,
Yeah, I'm due in 6 weeks,
right. Your
and I want to spend a
congratulations.
little time with the baby.
I hear that. We're doing about 8 weeks ourselves. So
That's nice. Congratulations.
congratulations.
Yeah, I mean, although it is not a lot of work, because I only put in a couple of hours a week, um, it is still constantly on my mind, and I feel like I couldn't concentrate on the baby if that was always in the back of my mind. So that's the main reason.
Good. Well, I've been asking most of the questions as we've gone. So I don't really have a whole lot more. Is there anything else you'd like to add that we didn't get a chance to talk about here?
Well, I think we covered most of it. I think it's an important point what you mentioned that it comes with the IP addresses, which is if somebody is doing a lot of SEO, can be very valuable. Um, it comes with a fantastic backend that you get a copy of, and it comes with all the websites. So I think those are the most important points.
Now, do you have a weekly newsletter or a monthly newsletter to all of the people that have perhaps come through the site in the past, and or anything like
We
that?
should.
But I mean, so
We
you don't
should.
actively.
We, yeah, I'm not very good at that either. Again, we should do that, and we could easily send out a monthly newsletter or a weekly newsletter. We tend to send out newsletters, but just whenever I wake up in the morning and I remember, oh yes, we can make a lot of money from the newsletters, and even it's that much easier that our partners, our um, the operators themselves, the affiliate programs, they send these newsletters to us ready to be sent out with all the graphics and everything. So
Right.
we don't even have to write it ourselves. We can just whatever they send to us, if we just forward that to our database, that makes quite a bit of nice revenue.
And the back
Um,
end has something all set up in it for newsletters and everything already.
yeah, that's the front end. That's the Drupal.
Okay.
So we do have our newsletter from Drupal. Um, some people have so this all these email addresses could be imported. Like if you have a newsletter um, uh, with there are a lot of services that offer this that you can send out newsletters. So you can put all those email addresses to together with your own database and then make it a larger database. No reason why not.
Okay. Well, great, Victoria. Again, I'm Ryan Lane. If anybody has any questions or wants some more information on this, you can contact me at rlane@latonas.com. My cell phone is also sitting there on the slide. Feel free to call me anytime, and we can get some information to you as soon as we can. So, Victoria, thanks so much for giving us your time.
Thank you very much for hosting it, Ryan.
You betcha. Everybody, take care, everybody.